What it do, y'all? It's FranchiseJerry,
It's Think I Need to Feed You Water.
and you're watching WWX, Wrestling with
Exotics.
So welcome back to Wrestling with Exotics. We appreciate y'all for tapping in and rolling up with us. Today's episode, we'll be talking about Smackdown, and later on, we'll also be talking about War Games. So let's get this shit cracking, man.
Yes, sir, Ski.
Smackdown started off with Bianca's War Games team, introducing their fifth member in Becky Lynch. We haven't seen Becky Lynch since Damage Control took her out at SummerSlam.
They clipped her wing.
As soon as she got into the ring, she started whooping on Bayley's ass. I was hyped that Becky was back, even though last time we seen her, we wasn't really fucking with her. But I do wonder what she's going to be on after War Games because I really don't see her stopping Bianca or Ronda. I hope WWE does make more women's belts or just more belts in general so that way these women and other competitors have something to fight for.
I personally see them going into what you said about Becky and hoping that the WWE makes more titles. I feel like we're gonna go into this phase of where the man is like trying to find herself in the essence. Like she may not be saying it, but she's gonna be trying to build other stars, young talent. Because right now I feel like the WWE's women's division is lacking. Not so much on the Raw side, but the SmackDown side. But seeing as they're cross branding a lot,
Yeah.
Becky needs to pick a fight with anybody that's on SmackDown's roster. That's
And
not
because she
relevant.
appeared on SmackDown, I have to assume she's on that roster now, right?
Yeah. It could be said because, like I said, they've been cross branding. So right now we don't even they can go on any brand right now. But I'm not one to assume. But for the most part, I think that she could be a vital asset to SmackDown because we're gonna go into it later. But even the SmackDown Women's Championship match, it was very lackluster, and it's not only it's people trying to blame Ronda, but I think Shotzi is just.
No, you got to understand, one, what type of competitor Ronda is and who the competition is at this point. Like, ever since Charlotte left, the competition on SmackDown has been getting weaker and weaker. So, again, like, I think that they should add more talent, bring more talent up from NXT, and give them opportunities to fight for the belt. And just because they're being brought up from NXT doesn't mean that they should be losing their first 50 matches.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Don't do that because I feel like WWE devalues their process when they do
Yes, bro. Look at Raquel. Raquel been losing damn near every other week since she's been on the main roster. Bro. And she's supposed to be a Rhea Ripley, Bianca Belair type. You know what I mean? Powerhouse. And they hoeing her. Ronda did her bogus. We'll talk more about that later on in the show. But yeah, man, let's move forward into the World Cup match semifinals featuring Pete Dunne and Santos Escobar.
I liked the match. I thought it was a solid way to start off SmackDown with actual competition, like in that aspect. And I think the right person won overall because they're new to the brand. So I don't like how we don't want to see people lose matches. So we can't be hypocritical and say, "Oh, Butch should have won just because we like Pete Dunne." You know what I'm saying? But I personally think that was the right call. And he does remind me quite a lot of Andrade, but I feel like he might be a little bit better than Tranquilo.
Yeah, low key.
So what do you have to think about the match?
I'm not gonna lie, bro. Santos, he's nice, bro. I see like real star potential in him. Like he reminds me of a cooler version of Andrade, but maybe like with a higher ceiling, you know? Before I jump into the match, I just want to say I really don't understand why Zelina. I understand what Zelina's doing with them, but I don't understand why she isn't on her own shit as well. Like, I don't really like her leading these Spanish talents because it's taken away from her talents. She's a former queen of the ring, and she's a former women's tag team champion. She needs to be on her own shit. And the commentators was even wondering, like, what are you on? Like, why are you doing this? And she had to remind them, like, yo, this is what I feel like what I'm capable of. You know what I mean? And this is also what's best for business, you know? So I get why she's doing it, but I don't like it. I rather just see her be on her single shit, you know?
I'll double down on you on that. I don't think she needs to be a part of any group because every time she's a part of a group, I always notice it takes away from Selena and she gets lost in the shuffle. Like,
yes, bro.
Like you gotta understand. Like for example, she reminds me of like a Melina with more suited in ring ability. Because Melina, what she lacked in ring ability at the time, she made up her personality, and the fact she was in
Hell
a group.
yeah.
In a group. So
you said that great.
Yeah. So she made it up in a group.
She hit them splits on what?
And then once she left the group, she was forced to learn how to wrestle because they wanted to make her a star in the women's division and women's champion at that. So then at first it wasn't believable for her to be that, but she worked towards it. Now, Selena, you have way more suited skills than her, and you're in better shape than she was at that time. You are primed for it to be a women's champion, especially representing the Hispanic community. I feel like is lacking in the WWE as a major world champion.
And you see what they just did to Raquel, which we'll talk more about later on. But Raquel ain't doing that. So Zelina, it should be you. It should be you. You know, you already got the accolades. You got everything that they like, everything that they need in the next women's WWE champion.
All I'll say is while you're doing this, El Fantasma, you should be trying to focus on trying to get the women's division on SmackDown popping as well. Like I said earlier, by trying to go for that title, speak about the title, make the title relevant. Don't just be on camera talking about Las Fantasma and Escobar and how great they are. And I never hear you talk about what you're going to do for yourself, because that's going to make me feel like she's just a manager now. That's all she's is now.
Because you know what? That's kind of what Bayley was on when she came out with Damage Control. Even though she was out here talking about how great they were, Bayley never forgot to mention that she's trying to get that belt.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's what Zelina need to be on. Like, remember that you're here for the belt. But anyway, Santos and Pete had a good physical matchup. The matchup took a turn for worse when the Bloodline started attacking Pete Dunne's War Games team backstage. The shit just started going south. Zelina then distracted the ref, as well as allowing Santos' outside interference. I can't remember his name, but he basically helped Santos win the match. Even though he cheated to win, I still enjoyed seeing his moveset. Very Andrade-esque. Pete Dunne should have been trying to get this dub by any means, so that way he can get his payback on Walter for taking his UK NXT championship from him. WWE, y'all need to make Pete Dunne great again. But I will say, I overall did enjoy the match.
I would have liked it if it was more of a dominant fashion victory, because I felt like the distraction finishes are getting played out more and more, and it's so obvious. But like, why can't we get healed? I remember back in the day, we used to get healed that were dominant. Like, it didn't matter. They didn't need no one to come and help cheat for them to win. They would just beat people up regardless. It didn't matter. So, like, I want some bad guys like that, because it's like, he's a big DC fan, and he always shits on Marvel because they're like good bad guys. Like, they started off wanting to be good, but then they get shitted on, so I turn bad. That's how I want my WWE heels to be. I want them to be bad,
naturally bad.
Yeah, don't make it seem like you're an outcast of all the good people, so now you have to be bad. Like, say you don't. Lame. Yeah, that shit is lame. So, going back into that, I feel like Escobar, it was the right decision for him to win. But I low key want to see him, because they let this happen. I want to see him win the whole thing.
Santos will now await his next opponent for World Cup as Ricochet takes on Braun Strowman later on in the show for the next semifinals. And again, we'll cover that in just a little bit here.
The shit show, my boy. Moving right along, we got LA Knight and Bray Wyatt. They continue their rivalry. What you think about that?
Man, I'm excited for this one, bro. Bray gonna beat the shit out of LA Knight. And I know you seen the look in his eye that he had last week Friday, bro.
He looked possessed.
He looked possessed.
He was
ain't gonna play with that, man.
Like, I should have killed him right now.
Yes,
I should expose him. Man.
That was exactly how he was looking. But yeah, man, I like this version of Bray. He seems more genuine, and I also get like a feeling that he's easy to work with. He looked like one of those chubby white guys that you could put faith in to do the right thing all the time, like Coach Daboll from the New York Giants. But yeah, man, I just like this Bray better. Bray came out and he's basically saying he's done with the Fiend, because all y'all want to do is just see him self-destruct and brutalize people, which is, kind of true. But at the same time, we all are wondering, when is the Fiend coming back? But I wouldn't mind Bray just being Bray, Bray then goes back to say he didn't attack LA Knight last week, and I believe him. And as he said that, Uncle Howdy interrupts him and tells him to remember the old Bray, and he need to wake up. That was a lead into the LAK interview. For y'all don't know who LAK is, that's LA Knight. I just refer to him as LAK. Lack, because that's exactly what he's been doing, lacking. And he was in that arm sling talking about, yeah.
That's my dog.
He just got done lacking.
Yo.
But bottom line of the interview, he think Bray Wyatt is lying, obviously, and when he's healed up, he want that one-on-one fade. I don't know who jumped LAK exactly, but I do believe Bray when he said that he didn't jump him. Because one thing Bray is not known for is lying, you know? So I don't know if it was Uncle Howdy or if it was The Fiend, but either one, Lack has been lacking. And they're going to catch his ass. But who do you think it is, and who do you think will win their first matchup?
Honestly, I think it's Uncle Howdy. Uncle Howdy is the reason is behind all of this because Bray is trying to remain on the straight and narrow, but Uncle Howdy is the one that's showing him, look how good it is to conduct violence. Look how good it is to show them where they really belong in this world. But Bray's trying to not be on that because he wants to uplift himself. He doesn't want to feel demoralized. He doesn't want to make anybody feel low because he felt so low in these past couple months with everything that happened with the Fiend. He feels like he was finished and defeated. But this new character is also showing that there's still hope for him. While Uncle Howdy's trying to say you need to tap into your older side so you can have success. It's a little of a happy medium, but
ain't that fucked up, bro?
Yeah, so
you gotta be the old you, because this you ain't gonna succeed.
Exactly. So it's kind of like it's really man versus self. But I, unlike him, I enjoy LA Knight on the screen because he's generally entertaining. If this man is in this fucking sling and a crutch talking about did you enjoy your asking the interviewer, did you enjoy your holidays? And she's like, yeah, I ate turkey. He's like, I didn't. And then he just stared a hole through her and just was continuing to berate her while he told her that what he's saying to her is just a fact of life and it's completely opinionated while he screams off, yeah, and hubbles off into the distance like he's delusional clearly, but at the same time it's good television. Like that shit just entertains me. Now, I don't know if he picked the right person to be talking shit to because he's mentally unstable. LA Knight seems to be all there. He doesn't seem to believe it at all because, he's arrogant. So he's like, I slapped the shit out of you. I know I would beat my ass if I was you. So you definitely beat my ass. But I think it was Uncle Howdy because he's like trying to show Bray like you're being too weak on this roster. You have to impose your will or else they'll just think you're a bitch. But I think honestly, and I'm honestly, let's just say for surprise, I think that Bray Wyatt will end up losing because he fully doesn't tap into the other side with LA Knight. So it starts off, yeah, LA Knight looked at he's gonna he's gonna job to Bray, but honestly, he's gonna end up winning the match by something because one of Bray's personalities is gonna cause him to have a mental slip up, and he's gonna mess up. But then in the second match, it will lead to him sacrificing LA Knight super hard, and then it's like after that, it's gonna be pretty much like Bray's on to something next. I don't see this being too drawn out. WWE don't draw it out too long. This is a 2-3 matcher, and I really just want it to be two, and then lead it off to it not being really finished, and then they can go back long term once they've had single success. All right, let's pick this back up, but don't try to make this a rivalry that we have to talk about for years and force it on us.
If I can keep it a stack, bro, I think this is gonna be a one matcher. I think that Bray Wyatt is gonna do him bogus just to prove to Uncle that nigga, I don't need that mask to do a nigga bogus and win and have success in this motherfucking shit. So I'm gonna step on him, and I think that's exactly what's gonna happen to LA Knight, also known as LAK, Lack, because he's known for lacking. Niggas still off on him all the time. Every time we turn around, he getting stole off on. So yeah, just like your boy Baron Corbin, but that's another story. But anyway,
oh my god, he got slid. I'm mad, bro.
Yeah,
I wouldn't let no one do that to me.
Never. I could never. The next match was featuring the Viking Raiders versus Hit Row. Now the Viking Raiders got the win, but that wasn't really saying much. They need to be given real competition or none. Hit Row is just taking up roster space at this point, and WWE needs to bring up 2 fresh tag teams from NXT to the main roster so that way the tag team division can get cracking again. Because I'm tired of just seeing lame ass tag teams come on the main rosters like Hit Row. But anyway, so now we're going to get into how Dom ruined his Thanksgiving dinner. Here you go, Cuddy. So yeah, for those who haven't seen the clip yet, Dominic Mysterio takes Rhea home for the holidays. Dominic's real mama sees Rhea and she's like, no. And then she closes the door on him and Rhea. Obviously, they not trying to leave. So poor Ray, he get up with his legs still fucked up, and he asked Dom and Rhea to go away. They then proceeded to whip Rey Mysterio's ass, okay, in his own house. I couldn't believe what I was watching.
In front of his kids.
In front of his kids.
His little kids.
I'd never turn my back on my folks or a gothic buff ass white bitch. That shit was just ignorant as fuck. Dom just mad because he take more after his mama than he do Ray. That's why his knees still kiss and he ain't got no swag.
I'm kind of over Dom being with the Judgment Day, but at the same time, it is doing good for his career. So that was just me being a hater. But at the same time, it's doing something for him, bro. Because I'm seeing him getting more comfortable with speaking. I'm seeing him more comfortable doing these little one-off segments. You see him getting some spotlight of his own. He has a real storyline going on with his dad. And then you know what? Ray had to play it out like this because he was trying to let him find his own way by being on his side, but he was too under his shadow. So like, even though it's getting under our skin, watching him still lack the wrestling ability and trying to diss Ray and be with the Judgment Day, he is getting better day by day. That's one thing I've noticed.
See, my thing is, okay, you can get better every day, but do that without dissing the man who brought you to this shit. You biting the hand that fed you, okay? And that's what I don't fuck with. And not only that, but I think that Ray should have helped him transition differently. Like, instead of trying to be his tag team partner, Ray should have been trying to manage him and trying to push him. Or Ray should have kept him off screen until he was fully developed to wrestle. Because right now, it's unbelievable. Every match or every fight that Dominic is in, he gets beat up, handled, and mistreated. Overall, Dom, you just don't need to be dissing your daddy like that no more, bro. Rey Mysterio just too good of a nigga for all that. And he put you on.
He's way too cool.
Go do that lame ass shit to somebody else. I feel like that Thanksgiving shit was just
over the line.
Over the line. It was OD.
I thought you'd get away from him. Like he's on SmackDown now.
Yeah, you called him a deadbeat and all that shit. Like, let the nigga breathe, bro. Like,
just get over it. Get over it.
After they showed the recap to that little Thanksgiving bullshit, before the next match began, LAK was found backstage beating the fuck up and being crushed by the environment around him. So again, Lack got caught lacking again and someone put him down. So that leaves us the question, who's doing this to this nigga? Is it Bray Wyatt? Is it The Fiend? Or is it Uncle Howdy?
Or is it somebody else? I honestly don't know who it is, but I think it is Uncle Howdy. Because it's just like, it's leading up too much. He keeps telling Bray to wake up. Bray's talking about he's trying to let bygones be bygones. He's trying to show a different side. He keeps saying, like, you keep watching him say he wants to have change. So I just don't feel like it's him. And like you said, he doesn't lie. He's not going to go out his way. He never lies. Because the one thing Bray's always known for, he's trying to tell the truth.
Oh, yeah. He's always trying to open your eyes and put you on to new shit and shit. So Bray is not a liar.
He wants you to look at things introspectively. Like, take yourself out of it. Like, if it wasn't me, would you still believe what's going on? And at the end of the day, I believe him.
I believe him 100%. But it is funny seeing LAK get his ass whipped.
Next up on our agenda is the rest of the Smackdown semifinal World Cup Intercontinental Tournament. It was Ricochet versus Braun Strowman.
Both competitors have held IC belts, but one being the former Universal Champion, and like you said, the monster among men, making Braun Strowman the obvious favorite in this match. But if there's anyone that could pull off the upset, bro, it is Ricochet. Now, in this match, you can see Ricochet come out with a whole new purpose. He wanted to prove Braun that he's more than one of those flippy floppy wrestlers that he was just talking about. So tell these good people what you seen in the match.
I seen a story being told of Ricochet trying to prove it, trying to get that redemption that you always been talking about with him.
Yes,
And
bro.
that he's trying to be taken seriously and not looked at as a joke, which is important because
I hope he watched the last podcast. Shit.
because I know that he would be considered a cruiserweight even though he's not. And you know him as Prince Puma, and that's some glory days for you. And you want
Oh
to see,
yes.
you want to see these WWE fans and the fellow Wrestling with Exotics subscribers to know why you view him such in a high demeanor.
Yes,
But
bro.
it's hard because WWE has played him out. But I was hyped that he won this match. Albeit, if you notice a recurring thing I keep saying about these distraction finishes, I'm getting tired of that, guys. You guys got to just
Yeah, it seems like the writers are getting lazy and
like,
just making all these. Okay, the only way we can make it believable is if someone interferes.
mm-hmm.
Like, no.
Sometimes momentum swings. Sometimes someone get caught on the rope. Sometimes something just happens.
How about a good technical battle?
Yeah,
like how they did with Ronda when Ronda first lost the belt. Remember?
Yeah, like it was like a complete like you wouldn't think it would go down like that because Ronda's such like a technical savant. So it's like, how are you gonna be able to stop her? Why can't we have a technical match like you were saying? Like it's like almost as if WWE is like, no, sometimes it's gonna spice it up. Like the only time we care about storylines is really backstage. The match, the things that happen in the ring, they really double down on the shit talk you can do outside the ring. So it doesn't work like, oh, like there's more shit talking outside and then you won by that victory. It's gonna be like that's just equals to more. Oh, you didn't even beat me clean.
Yeah, because that's what the Miz used to do.
Yeah.
Now I hate talking about the Miz a lot on this show, but that's what he used to be on. He used to come out and say he was the greatest, this and that, but was always cheating to win his matches or running behind Maurice. Niggas don't like seeing that.
Everyone start questions like, when are we gonna really see? Like that's what I'm saying. The heels back in the day used to just be like, they could have a manager, they could have somebody, but they don't even need to interfere because what they're about to do is take it to the next level. So it's like you're gonna see this guy demonstrate why he is about to come for that WWE title, Intercontinental title, whatever title he wants. Even if it's just the title of being that nigga on the roster, that's gonna just like you don't want to match with him, like the Undertaker. Where's that?
Right. Yeah, man, I'm not fucking with these distractions, and the simple fact that it came from Walter makes me even more mad. And again, his name is Gunther, but we're not calling him that. His name is Walter. Gunther is a name that you give a slow nigga. Okay, so anyway, this is the second week in a row that Walter comes out and do some scary nigga shit. It's clear as day at this point that he doesn't want any smoke with Braun. Last week he was running. This week he trying to dodge a fade. Okay, and dodge a fade, I mean he don't want Braun Strowman to win the match because he don't want to possibly deal with Braun Strowman in the end. Okay, but anyway, the Walter that I know from NXT would never go for some shit like this. The outside distraction allowed Ricochet to hit the crucifix roll-up pin and get the 3 count, upsetting Braun Strowman. As I said, that Ricochet possibly could. I'm hyped Ricochet won. I was just saying a couple shows back, as some of our loyal subscribers know, I wanted to see Ricochet be elevated more and win more of his matches. He now takes on Santos Escobar for the WWE's first ever SmackDown World Cup, and he's my favorite to win. But I don't know if he will beat Walter because, like I just told y'all, Walter been on some hoe ass shit, and I'm losing faith in him representing that IC title. And with that being said, there might be some outside distraction or again interference, which me and him are overseeing.
Very much so.
Here you go, bro. Rick just might win though, because he did save Braun Strowman from getting his ass whooped at the end of the match. And I'll close by saying, Braun Strowman, you's one scary motherfucker, bro. But when you wear them red tight jeans that are ripped, you just look like
you shop at Old Navy and
a regular dude, regular nigga.
You do questionable things when it gets dark outside.
You do freaky shit on the low.
You go to the weird clubs.
Okay, so my advice to Braun Strowman and his wrestling attire, I think he needs to start wearing jeans or some sweatpants. Y'all tell me what you rather see Braun Strowman wear, because them bright ass red tight ass pants ain't it.
He looked like he had a midlife identity crisis. He looked like why? Like remember when he had them camo pants and the boots and shit?
That
He
was
looked
better.
menacing. He looked menacing.
That was better.
This he looked like he was working on a farm.
He looked like a drill sergeant.
He looked like he was in a swamp. Like you believe like he is a Wyatt family member. This guy,
Yeah.
he got pierced nipples now. He got his nose pierced. He's bald. He just looked like he's doing everything. Like he just looked like
Everything under the sun.
everything.
So, yeah, to make Braun Strowman more menacing and his character more believable, and to make him great again, he needs to wear some straight-legged jeans or some sweatpants, in my opinion. The next segment was Kevin Owens confronting Sami Zayn.
I don't know if I necessarily like how they're portraying the whole thing. You know what I mean? Making it seem like Sammy's gonna have to be tested again. Like I feel like Sammy's proven himself time and time again. So why is he in this situation just because KO strangers
Came out of nowhere,
throwing some salt in the game, trying to talk about they're gonna turn on you, so turn on them first. What type of shit is that?
But yeah, man, looks like this Uzi shit is coming to an end. I hate to say, but I mean, I don't know. It's hard to say right now. KO asked Sami, what's he gonna do if Roman turns on him for saying something stupid? Then suggested that he turn on them first. And the whole time he was saying all that shit, Jay was listening in the background.
That nigga said, "Hey Sammy, where you been? You talked to anybody yet?"
Nigga was pressing.
He said, "No, Jay, I haven't spoken to anybody yet." He said, "Are you sure?"
Like, yo, like, why you being like that? Technically, he didn't cap because Jay didn't say exactly what he was talking about, and Sami told KO to leave and nothing else after that. So basically, he didn't really talk to nobody. He listened to what KO said, but didn't really speak to him like actual conversation type shit. What'd you think about the overall segment, and who do you think is going to win at the War Games match?
The segment honestly was pretty funny in a sense, but at the same time pissed me off because I'm like, why does Jay keep pushing this narrative? Roman has told you 1,000 times. You're supposed to just follow Sammy's lead. Be cool. Don't be weird. And be Uzi. Like, but you're refusing to do that.
You just refusing, going against the
grain. Hard. Like, okay, we don't see how far that gets you.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like almost every segment at the Bloodlines in minimum got to be a 7, bro. The entertainment value is there every time. I'm taking away something from it, and it leads me, like you said, what's going to happen in War Games. So I think I want to go for the Bloodline. I feel like no matter how much Jay is going to do that, Sami knows within himself he has to win and prove himself. So I think they're gonna prove that they can figure it out, and KO is just gonna be pissed and have to figure it out on his own. He won't have a team anymore. But what do you think?
I don't think the Bloodline is winning this one, but who knows? They are the ones.
The ones.
All right, y'all. So the next segment is the Becky Lynch interview. This is the first time we hear from Becky in 4 months. From the sound of the interview, it sounds like she's brought back the man persona. And this is actually the best persona for War Games. When Becky Lynch was the man, she was considered a trailblazer and a locker room leader. My favorite moment in her career as the man was when she led the Smackdown women's division in the invasion on Raw and put Ronda in the disarmor. So again, this persona is great for War Games because everyone is tough until the man comes around. Yep. And since she showed up on SmackDown, I'm gonna assume that she's probably on the roster, but I would love to see another Becky Ronda saga. What did you think about the man's return, bro?
I think it was cool. I wish it would have been a little bit more of a moment, but I get why they're doing it. It felt a little rushed, though. I will not lie. Her promo though that she cut, was pretty dope. I like that she was trying to stand up for herself in the aspect of that. No one can hang with me. I've been on that level. I've been there many a time. I've been on that mountaintop that you guys are all trying to
Yeah,
get.
and the man was really working out for her. You know what I'm
That was
saying?
her best persona. Because
That was her
honestly,
best persona.
everything else, big time Bex is just trying too hard. But I think she's gonna come through and make the most out of everything.
Yeah, for sure, bro. Again, I would love to see her and Ronda have another saga, and so that way Becky can get her get right. And speaking of Ronda, she and Shayna did Shotzi and Raquel bogus backstage right after the interview. I wonder how long they're gonna let them two play out as a little friend thing that they
But
got.
can I just touch bases on that real quick? I don't like this friendship shit.
Neither do I.
I have this written down right here. This friendship shit is forced. I don't like it. I think that they're just trying to like make a storyline to where it just cohesion where Ronda got her friend back with Shayna and like now everybody needs to pair up to go against them. Like no, you guys are just trying to prove them to the point that they're stronger than you. That you guys are scared. And how is Raquel supposed to be intimidating? She's supposed to have all these back muscles and shit, and she's getting her ass whooped. She's getting her ass. She's just one fucking crying on TV.
She was
This
crying.
Loki was a burial because Loki,
Oh yeah, they
because
buried her ass.
because we ain't never seen Bianca cry. We ain't ever seen like damn. Then you got Shotzi coming to
I
save
feel like
you.
they demoralized
They
her.
demoralized. Then you got Shotzi coming to save you. Shotzi sucks in the ring compared to fucking Raquel. So it's really just awkward right now. An awkward stage. And I don't know if the Triple H is booking. Also, this is why they're saying Shawn Michaels doing, but I'm not even a big NXT fan. He watched more NXT than me. He knows, and Shawn Michaels is doing a better job with the women's division in NXT,
Oh
and
yeah,
Triple
he's
H is
killing
doing
it
that.
over there.
And
But that's probably why Shotzi got the opportunity because she was killing it on NXT.
yeah, but it's
But
like
Raquel was too, and she was elevating that women's division. And she comes to this women's division and gets stepped on.
maybe it might be maybe Triple H might not be the best in the women's division, but everything else for the men's, some shit he doing good.
Maybe Raquel's just
B
getting
plus
her ass
player.
whipped.
Maybe she's a B plus player.
Maybe she's just getting her ass whipped by Ronda Rousey.
Yeah, she can't hang with the game.
Now, I do gotta, give her some
So you're saying
pushback when it comes to Ronda Rousey because Ronda Rousey play for keeps.
bro, I
Yeah,
seen
bro.
her. Now she got this ankle lock. I'm waiting her to see her break somebody's foot. That's all I want to see for real.
Yeah,
I want to see someone hobble, can't walk out. They got to get it carted off. This arm shit. I'm tired of seeing them got it. I'm trying to see them can't walk.
no cap. But yeah, so that's gonna segue into the next match, which was supposed to be Raquel and Shotzi versus Ronda and Shayna Baszler. Like we just said, Raquel got done bogus backstage. So the match started off as Shotzi versus Shayna Baszler and Ronda. And Shayna and Ronda was just doing the same shit they was doing backstage, trying to rip that bitch's arms off her body. Okay?
Got
Ronda
her fucked up.
Ronda was trying to do them bitches bogus, okay? So anyway, Raquel comes out from backstage, hobbled, holding her arm. Her shit is already torn off the bone because Ronda slammed this thing down on her arm and fucked her off.
It's crazy.
So anyway, she get in there and Ronda makes her tap out immediately. They shouldn't have even competed in that match after what happened backstage before. Ronda broke Raquel's arm and dislocated her elbow by the time this shit was all over with.
Until Shotzi just not a believable competitor for me to go against Ronda.
Okay.
I don't care what momentum she has or anything. She's like two steps down from Liv Morgan. So I'm like, how in the fuck are you guys gonna think that that's gonna be entertaining? And people are complaining that Liv Morgan versus Ronda Rousey was insane. I went to Money in the Bank. I saw that shit, and I was not. And for me to see her cash in, that was believable. To see her the next 3 months go on like beating Ronda and holding that title, I was like,
They was stretching.
this shit is a lie.
That was a stretch.
Y'all really wanted a little superhero for the summer.
Right, for the summer vibe.
Yeah, fuck that. Get rid of her. She's fired. There you go, get bait.
I'll end this by saying, hopefully Raquel makes a speedy recovery and picks her battles wisely. So the next match was Sheamus and Drew versus the Usos for advantage at War Games. I'll start by saying Drew and Sheamus made a good tag team, bro. But at the same time, I like them better as singles competitors. But they would be a good tag team. I could see them actually
For
taking out the
sure.
Usos for them belts. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, I knew off the rip the Usos weren't going to win this match. Overall, Sheamus and Drew are just better than them. But now Sheamus and Drew's team, the Brawling Brutes, have advantage going into War Games. Uh, I kind of want to go for them, but like I said, man, Bloodline, they the ones. What you thought about it, bro?
I had my money always on the Bloodline because they just like you said, they're the ones. It's kind of hard to go against the grain with them for real because it's been proven over a year now that if you fuck with them, you're gonna lose.
Oh
You
yeah,
could think you're gonna win some petty victories and have some little momentum, but when it's time for them real statistics to come out, pay-per-view showing who's winning that, the ones.
yeah,
So,
yeah.
what do you think of the match though?
It was a good match. It went exactly how I envisioned it, and I also want to say I don't think that Sammy's gonna turn on the Bloodline just to prove Kevin Owens wrong. You know what I mean? Just because that's Sammy's character. You know what I mean? He always want to prove somebody wrong, or always prove that somebody's trying to be against him or out to get him type shit. You know what I
Conspiracy
mean?
theories, yeah.
Yeah, and he always wants people to believe that his character is real, no matter what. By any means, he wants you to believe that his character
Invest
is
in him.
real, very invested. You feel me? So I feel like he's gonna go out his way to prove to Kevin Owens that, yo, nah, this is my family, bro. You playing with my family. We friends, but this is my family.
Mm.
Yeah, like I said, it's hard to choose for this match. I ain't even gonna pick for real. All I know is the Usos, the Bloodline, they the ones, and they've proven everybody else is the twos. Shout out Checkpoint Exotics. They are sponsored for today's episode. Again, that's Checkpoint Exotics. They be blessing us with all the za. My boys always got the good za. I've been twisting that up in the past couple episodes. We usually got Southwest Gas, or we got our boys Checkpoint, or we also be having Bullpen. If y'all got some weed brands that y'all want us to promote on the show, tap in with us. You know what I'm saying? We'll smoke you all on here and shout you out. We fuck with you.
Oh, for sure. For shit show, my boy.
For shit show.
War
All right, y'all. So this is the part of the show where we talk about WWE's Survivor Series War
games.
Games.
They had Ozzy Osbourne at this shit, boy. It
Hey,
felt
boy, they
so
had that shit
sensational.
lit.
Had it so late, it felt so dark.
Had Ozzy and that motherfucker about to say the N word on these niggas.
The brothers never talk about Satan. He,
Niggas started talking about Satan on TV,
he
bro.
said Satan's wings. He buys his wings.
Yeah,
He said the
Ozzy
devil.
got on that bitch and was turned.
Oh, he's dark. He's the Prince of Darkness.
I'm like, man, we ain't rocking with none of that. But yeah, Ozzy had it turned. I'm happy the nigga ain't eat no bats or nothing.
Oh
But
yeah, because he would have. Rhea Ripley would have been like, "Hey,
right,
where's my bat?
you right. You better share, you dirty
Another one on the
ass.
bar, eh?"
And the show starts off with Bianca Belair's team versus Damage Control. Bianca Belair was the only one on her team with War Games experience. Dakota Kai and Bianca Belair started off the match. This is also Dakota Kai's fourth War Game match. Bianca beat on her for about 5 minutes straight. And then Io Shirai entered the match, with Asuka following about 5 minutes later. Asuka and Bianca was making a pretty good tag team, and they was going to work on them bitches, bro.
Honestly, I thought watching that, I was like, her and Bianca are way better tag team than her and Alexa Bliss.
I was thinking that the whole time. But back into the match. Nikki Cross enters the match and starts introducing weapons. And as JR would say, business is picking up. Nikki Cross was giving me Cactus Jack vibes the entire match. She was just on bastard shit. She looked like she just couldn't wait to get her little horny fingers on something and just do something bogus. Bruh, Nikki was going crazy. She even almost fucking scorpioned off the cage. That shit was dangerous as fuck,
She
but it was
scared me. She
hilarious.
scared me doing that because I like you're taking out your own teammates and you landed on your face. Like I was like, how are you not bleeding?
Yeah, I started seeing her feet get ready to kick her in the back of the head. I was like,
Yeah.
ooh, you
And
you
it's like your
probably shouldn't
spine's
be
not
doing
ready for
that.
all that.
Yeah, bro, she got cooked off the top of that shit. But yeah, Bailey then enters the match with a badass spray tan. Came out here looking like a Oompa Loompa. And then she starts introducing ladders and chairs into the match. And at this point, Bailey and Damage Control were taking control of the match. The match hasn't even started yet for real, and everyone was fucked up. And Mia Yim came in fresh.
She was the wild card in that whole thing. She destroyed. If it wasn't for her, I don't know if how Bianca's team would have fared because they needed a little wild card aspect,
Yeah.
and she definitely provided what they needed because they were
Oh
not.
yes.
I know Bianca is strong, but she's usually got to defend off damage control, so no one would have been able to stop Rhea if it
Yeah.
wasn't for Mia Yim.
Yeah, she had good presence in the match. Rhea also entered the match and she was overly excited. The bitch ran to the ring. And this was her third War Games match. I remember hearing Michael Cole say, Rhea said out her mouth, this shit is fun. All right. So Rhea came in on fire until Mia put her ass out. Mia swept her leg from underneath her and put Rhea on her ass as soon as she was about to cross the ring ropes. She had me cracking the fuck up. And then finally, what everybody wanted to see, the man finally enters the match, and then the match officially begins because all 10 opponents are in the match. So Becky wanted instant smoke with Bailey. Again, Bailey helped put Becky on the shelf at SummerSlam. So she was rocking Bailey's shit the entire time. Probably the best part of the match for me. And then also Bianca slammed Bailey crazy on her neck on accident. And I was like, damn, she probably just really tore her shit up. Like I wasn't expecting Bailey to keep fighting, but she stayed in the match. I was like, oh shit.
She showed you the heart.
Nah, she showed me that her neck is just fat enough to withstand all, all of that pressure being dropped on her shit. But yeah, man, this match had everything. Had all the action. Alexa handcuffed herself to Nikki because Nikki brought in handcuffs out of fucking nowhere.
Where
I'm like, where did she get them shits from? And then Rhea put Mia Yim through the ladder. I was like, oh shit. Man, and Bianca stacked Dakota Kai and Io Shirai on top of each other on top of the table. And then Becky delivered a mean ass leg drop off the top of the cage to end the match.
that was nuts. I have to give her respect coming back off an injury 4 months and you're able to jump off the ladder, free flow leg drop. I knew that was
Yeah,
going to be the
bro.
end of that match.
I was not expecting that. This was a great way to end the blockbuster of a match. Welcome back, Becky. And I give this match a 5-star match, bro. What you think?
I'll give this match a stroke. It's a five. Hell yeah, I actually would give it a 5-star match because it was entertaining. It told the story the whole time through, and I can't think of a point in the match it was dragging.
Yeah,
And
it had action all the way
and
through, or at least like a moment where you're just like, "What the
oh, what
fuck
does
is
that
going
mean? Like
on?"
yeah, like it made something to ponder, but it wasn't like a negative ponder.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
What do you have to say about this next match between AJ and Finn? Do you think the right person won? And do you like how they told the whole story of why they're beefing?
After Judgment Day and the OC left ringside, it was a real one-on-one fade between greats. I had AJ losing this match because I thought the Judgment Day would have interfered more and would make AJ lose the match, but AJ pulled out with the win. And I was glad this match wasn't ruined by outside interference, but I'm sure this won't be the last time we see them compete against each other.
I don't think it'll be the last time either because they have too much in-ring chemistry.
Yeah, and AJ probably tore up Finn's knee more than we know.
All those dragging whip screw legs and craft pressures, he was just breaking him down. I especially like how AJ showed his technical side. As AJ is getting older, he's been doing less high flying and less in-ring technician work. Have you noticed that?
Yeah. He's showing you like, yeah, I might be old, but I still got
Still
it
got it.
in me.
I can still wrestle. There's more than one way so I can wrestle.
No cap, it's in me, not on me.
Up next, we have the next women's championship match between Ronda Rousey and Shotzi. Personally, I thought this match was unnecessary because Ronda and Shotzi are in two different calibers when it comes to competitive women's sports, especially hand-to-hand combat. Ronda's skilled in judo. Shotzi, I'm pretty sure she's from the performance center. Like, it's just two different things. I'm not saying the performance center athletes aren't good, but it's just that she's not a standout in that organization. So I feel like she is not the right person to be going against Ronda Rousey because she makes Ronda Rousey look bad, and Ronda Rousey gonna make her look bad. But I think everything went out good. I know you touched bases on it earlier. This friendship shit has got to go. You can't keep forcing these girl women to be friends. Like, that shit is weird. In real life, we know we don't have friends like that. Why are these two women who want to do the same thing and so competitive at combat sports tag along buddies now? At first, I get it because you guys want to build, but they're not even good chemistry together. It's so awkward. I just am tired of seeing that, and it takes away from the WWE Women's Championship. So, what would you say about that?
I'm gonna start off by saying Ronda hanging out with Shayna. Yeah, man, that shit is whack as fuck. Shayna over here holding Ronda's belts for her and shit. I'm like, Shayna, you should be embarrassed. I guess if you can't beat them, you better join their ass. But I gotta give credit to Shotzi, bro, because again, she beat 4 women to even be in this match, and she did put up a hell of a fight for the part she was able to fight. And I respect her heart, but at the end of the day, she was no match for Ronda Rousey. Ronda hit her with a crazy ass arm drag off the top rope and then into a Piper's Pit body slam and then dragged her into an armbar submission and made her tap out. I was all like, Shotzi, I don't even know why you even. I
She was
like
getting
again. I respect the heart, but
she was getting
man,
done the fuck up, bro.
I can say honestly, I can see her being a champion one day though. Like not today, like really far down the line type shit. I could see it. If Jeff Hardy could do it, she could do it, and I say that because of her look. Like you know what I mean. Jeff Hardy was the first person WWE ever gave a belt to who paints his nails. You know what I mean? They
Mm-hmm.
don't. They never normally did that. So for WWE to go out their way and not give a fuck about how Jeff looks or anything based off his looks and give him that belt shows what type of work ethic and shit that he put into it. So if Shotzi puts the same work ethic in going
Mm-hmm.
forward, you know what I mean? She could very well find herself in the same position.
Right.
All right, y'all. So next on the card, we got the U.S. Championship triple threat match featuring Bobby Lashley, Seth Rollins, and Austin Theory. Fiji, what was your take on the match, brother?
I did not fuck with the ending. The match overall told a good story, but Austin Theory ended up winning, which I was not fond of because he already lost his championship and his Money in the Bank. So I'm like, I already been here, done that. I get that we're maybe trying to reestablish him, but I felt those since Rollins' run was just getting started, it could have progressed even more and made the title even more prestigious because being that he is a former world heavyweight champion, that got a lot of good rubs and has beaten a lot of championship caliber people. So it just would be more believable with him. Because even though you could say Bobby's beaten good people too, he's had a lot of questionable victories and been hold a lot of times. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Seth is new to that, but Seth is experiencing that like now. Like Triple H, why are you going back and forth with him? Supposed to make him. I want this run to be at least 4 months. You went 47 days, bro.
Yeah.
And so I was only in the beginning. We can only see what they have to go forward with. But what do you think will come from this?
I don't think it'll last long. You know what I mean? I feel like he'll have probably 3 months, 3 to 6 months, no more than 6 months with the U.S. Championship belt.
Yeah,
But overall, with the match, I enjoyed the match. It was actually a decent match. I mean, if we being honest, Austin Theory actually looked like a pro wrestler in this match, man. And all three of them really put on a good show. So many good moments. I thought Seth had this match won when he did a frog splash on the Bobby's face while he was being pinned by Austin. And
Yeah,
that
that
shit
was
was
a great
crazy, right?
stop. I thought it was over at that point.
Yeah, I thought for sure he had it. And another good moment was when Seth jumped off of Austin's back and did a stomp on Bobby. I was
Yeah,
like, oh yeah, this shit is curtains. But yo, I'm not gonna cap. I had a feeling Austin was gonna win this. It was Bobby's fault though. He should have let Seth hit that Falcon Arrow first, but he decided to spear Seth while he had Austin Theory upside down in the air. And then Theory falls into the pin and is your new United States champion.
yeah. I was not a fan of that ending. I felt like even though it could be like, because I see it ditchy and like leap towards making the pin, so he can't be like, so he could be like, I didn't follow strategic. It's just like on his end, it's just not looking good.
Yeah, man. Hopefully Seth goes after Roman after this and starts going for a bigger title because I'm ready to see that. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
he has bigger ass. He should have bigger aspirations than the United States or mid card titles. He's a former worldwide champion. Just touch on this briefly. I don't think we'll ever get a superstar to get like 16 like John and shit like that. They don't
Nah.
have the they don't command the presence of people like how John
If we
does.
do, bro, it'll probably be when we're like 40.
Yeah, where we're these people still learning how to be themselves. It's crazy enough to say that.
Yeah, and they having major character problems all over.
So, guys, the last match on the card, it was a men's War Games match. It was the Bloodline versus the Brawling Brutes, Kevin Owens and Drew McIntyre. And this match was a non-stop action-packed roller coaster from beginning to end. I don't know who had the best stunt and what, but it was like great storytelling from beginning to end. Could the Bloodline trust Sami Zayn throughout the whole match was a consistent factor that was keep being replayed by the announcers mentioning it, by Sami saving Jay, moving him out the way, by Sami having to show where his allegiance lied. But overall, the match was, I'd say that was a 4 to 5. The women's match was a little bit more exciting, but this match was a great storytelling match, and I appreciate it. What did you have to say about that?
And I'd have to agree with you, bro. I love the storytelling in this match, and I love even more how it ended. Sami Uso is officially accepted in the bloodline, and with this new respect that he has from them, I can't wait to see what's next for Sami. Sami hit Kevin Owens with a low blow, and then Halula kicked his motherfucking face off, showing whose side he's on. Jay seen it all, and then he hit the game-winning frog splash to win the match. And at that point, I was thinking to myself, this was the smartest decision Sami could have ever made for his career. Hopefully, he gets a belt out of this. That'll make this story even better. And I was saying a couple shows ago that he should stay with them so he has support when he finally goes after a belt. But moving forward, I'm ready to see Roman face off with Kevin Owens again. And this time, 1v1, no Usos, no bloodline. So my only critique throughout the entire match was I didn't like how Solo Sikoa was acting more like Umaga. At one point of the match, KO was kicking him in his face, and Solo was just taking super kicks and flailing his arms around hella crazy like Umaga used to after each one. And I got a problem with that because WWE never really took Umaga seriously, especially after John stopped his undefeated streak. Umaga was only able in the end to capture the IC title, you know? So they put a ceiling on him. And Solo looks like he has more potential, so I just don't want to see him turn into a joke eventually like Umaga did. So I hope sometime down the line Solo gets away from this because yeah, man, don't put my nigga in the box. And I also want to mention how Solo need to have his own lane, his own shit, because everybody else in the bloodline got their own shit. Roman don't wrestle like The Rock, and the Usos don't wrestle like they daddy. So why is Solo wrestling like Umaga? You know what I mean? It's the bloodline. It's supposed to be the future. It's supposed to be you new. So let's stick to that aspect.
I agree with you on that. I want Solo to have his own things as well because it's all about character. So if you stand on my mind more, I won't have to mix you up with an Umaga. Because I told him even the first couple times I watched him, he gives me Umaga or Kishi vibe and a little of himself. That's like three people in one. So
Yeah, I told him that he's like Rikishi outside of the ring, and inside of the ring he turns into Umaga.
Yeah, and it's like that's like Rikishi had a better rapport with people outside and inside the ring. Like he had a cooler demeanor, and he didn't need a manager. How they made Umaga like a foreign exchange student that didn't understand anything besides violence. So I'm not too fond on that.
Yeah.
Personally, the match is pretty cool though. It's really entertaining.
Yeah, he still had a lot of good moments, with Drew McIntyre and Kevin Owens,
Well, that's one thing I've noticed with him. He has a lot of potential, as you're saying. There shouldn't be a ceiling on him because he's in there with former main eventers and he does not look out of place. That's one thing was gonna say. I think Solo beforehand, I thought he wasn't ready to be called up yet when he was at Clash of the Castle. But he's literally proven to me in these past 2 months that he is ready to be there because it just seems like he's been there this whole time. Yeah, I get that he's the enforcer and they're not looking for too much from him. But there's been people in that same position that's just like, I'm not scared of you. You're not doing nothing. But when he's there or how he's carrying himself, that he's gonna have an impact. And Roman is really like, okay, Jay is my right hand man, but if I really want something done, I'll bring Solo because Solo's gonna handle it.
You know what I like about Solo, bro?
Yeah.
He looks like he refuses to be hoed, though.
Yeah.
Like, for example, Roman's not going to be able to do what he did to Jay to Solo. That ain't going down.
Solo's just looking at him straight up like,
nah, dog.
That's not how I'm doing it. You're the tribal chief. The elders did, even though he said I acknowledge you and all that shit, he did it in the coolest way possible.
Yeah, in the coolest way.
Jay's having a hard time. Like, Jay to this day is still having a hard time accepting that Roman really would have let him be a tribal chief himself.
Yeah. That Hell in a Cell match was crazy.
That's why he comes so hard at Sami because he's like.
I honestly thought Jay had that Hell in a Cell match won because he was low key sticking in there. You know what I mean? But Jimmy's the whole reason why the match ended in the first place because he interfered and was all like, "Stop beating up my little bro." Like, Jimmy, sit your ass down somewhere, bro.
Oh, he's a big bro.
Yeah, you didn't know that, Jimmy, big bro.
I think I did, but it's just funny because
yeah, and he looked older.
Yeah, it says yeah.
Even though that they're twins, he definitely looked like he came out first.
Yeah, he looked like his longer hair and shit. Jimmy's just cool, Jay. You need to take some pointers from him. Eat.
Overall, I enjoyed the pay-per-view. It was a good pay-per-view. Everybody did a great fucking job. Triple H is doing a good job of leading these storylines and putting a good product together on screen for us to view. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. I would say, for example, I'll go back to the women's War Games match. It was great. Like, I honestly, like I said, from beginning to end, it was like a little bit more exciting. And how they ended off with Becky jumping off the cage. She jumped on Io Shirai and with Dakota Kai, right?
Yeah, Dakota
She
Kai.
crushed them. I thought that was a big spot for her to do, especially coming back from being away for 4 months. Like, that means she's been putting in the work where she feels comfortable enough to jump 30 feet off on top of these bitches on their fucking.
Like, I don't think it was gonna take long for her to heal up and get back out there. Like, it sounded like she's been healed up when she did the interview after the match. She was talking about how Bianca Belair sent the jet for her in Ireland to basically come pick her up so that way she could be in the match. And it sounded like she'd been ready this entire time. She just been waiting on the call. You know what I mean? So that was cool how she was able to be entered in that match, especially at such a late notice. They are going to be chilling on pay-per-views for a little bit now. And the next pay-per-view will be Royal Rumble, and that's not until towards the end of January. So we'll keep you guys more posted with that later on down the line. And we'll also have some more information on what's going on in AEW later on, probably in the week.
AEW's next pay-per-view isn't until March 5th, 2023 in the Chase Center in San Francisco, California. It's going to be AEW Revolution. It's their standard bear pay-per-view they usually have in the first quarter of the new year. So I don't know what to expect in that pay-per-view, but we have a lot of chances to have build up until then. So I'm looking forward for that.
Until then, y'all can just expect us to be putting out that good wrestling content for y'all. Make sure you guys get up with us on the Instagram page, Wrestling with Xotics. We appreciate everybody for tapping in. Make sure you guys keep tapping in, turn on all your post notifications. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Share this shit with the world. It's hard to do what we do and wrestle these exotics.
While displaying this information on this platform.
We appreciate y'all tag teaming with us while we wrestle with these exotics. Hit that subscribe button so that way you can see every time we pop up on your YouTube timeline.
You've been watching WWX
Wrestling with Exotics. Tap in with us, gang.
Shit show, boy.